Go! And now I realize. Let's go! What do we have? Hello, hello. All right. So there's still three of us, and we got somebody here as one of the guys next door today. Gus, are you excited? Oz,
Yeah, I'm very
finally,
excited. Yeah.
finally, we put if Oz is everywhere. So if you don't know the real Oz, this is the guy, so I'm glad to get him on the show. He guested last season, so I think it's time for him to go back to the show. And dude, are you drinking sake right now? You're trying to get drunk?
No, actually, that's not
Fresh
sake. That
espresso.
is my sake glass, but it's not. No, that's actually my Knob Creek Smoke Maple Bourbon.
Oh,
That is
even better. You're talking
that is
about
my treat
bourbon.
for not killing any users today. So
Killing any users. Ah, perfect. Perfect. Killing users in Twitch. Is that what you're saying about?
no, in the
Oh,
IT
killing a
world,
support. Yeah, the support. Right.
yeah,
I
computer
remember.
users. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah. So I'm glad you didn't, get Gus a ticket right now, because I'm also a pain in the ass if I pull a ticket out and the good users. What is this happening? Why is not working? Right. So well,
have you
great to
restarted?
yeah. Have you the cup holder is not working? Oh, that's a
Yeah.
CD. Yeah. Well, thank you,
Yeah, yeah.
brother. Thanks for
Thanks very
joining us
much for having
and
me,
guesting.
guys.
Yep. And we have a special episode right now. We don't have a DJ or streamer, but our episode right now is going to revolve around the backbone of any streams, right? The people that work hard for all the channels, the mods. So we got special guest, but that's why I brought in reinforcements, everybody. Us is also a mod from the big names out there. So I need to get more of Oz perspective. I'm a mod, but I suck, right? I only mod one, and because I don't have a choice. I have to do a mod. But I think there's a great story or perspective there of what's happening behind the scene and while modding, right? We don't see it more often. We see them smiling, we see them putting emotes, hearts on the chat, but there's definitely something going on there, because I know it, right? When something is going on in the stream, people won't notice it, but behind the scene, the mods are going crazy. They're saying, "What the
hmm
fuck?" Go in Discord. Yeah, this guy's this. I want to hear all of those. So thank you, Oz, for filling in for Pat. But Pat's gonna come in,
Good.
probably in a minute. But welcome to you're now one of the guys next door.
I appreciate it,
There
guys.
you
Thank
go.
you very much for having me. Absolutely.
But how's
It's
how's life though? How's life treating you? What's going on?
life is
Keeping
going.
you busy?
Oh yeah, staying busy. Always someone breaking a computer, so that keeps me busy during the days.
Mm.
Um, we are, I don't know, just trying to keep things moving. This has been a challenging last couple of years, and I don't know, man, just trying to keep my head above water for the most part. Honestly, we've got
Nice.
one of our oldest fur babies is starting to show some signs of issues with her
Ah,
health. Yeah, she's 14 years old and starting to have some issues. So that's keeping both Mrs. Oz and myself stressed, um, keeping an eye on her. But
okay.
otherwise, man, no, it's really get up in the mornings at 4 o'clock in the morning, feed the babies, and try and wake up for a few hours, go to work, come home, mow the lawn, have a drink, go to bed.
Repeat.
And the weekends is everything that should have been done already, catching back up.
Nice, nice. Well, glad, sorry to hear about your babies, but glad you and the missus are in good health. But we move on, right? We
That's it.
push through it like everybody else, right?
Yep.
And I mean, also, it's hard, right? So people have pets, right? Sometimes they don't realize, oh, because one of my friends' dog passed away, they have to put him down,
Mhm.
and we have a dog too. It's just the feeling. If you don't have a pet, you will. I mean, yes, you feel bad, but it's still different when you actually have as part of the family, and
Sure.
it's like your kids, right?
Yeah.
So it's just hard, but sorry to hear that. But speaking, but guys, how about you? How's your weekend?
Hey, wait,
How's it
wait.
going?
Oh, we got a raid from Patrick Richards. Wow.
Holy yeah, we got a
Yep.
rate
Yep.
from Pat.
Big
Yeah.
raid.
Oh, whoa, whoa,
Yeah,
whoa,
big
whoa, whoa.
raid.
High
Yo.
five them.
The big raid. No, it is from Pat. So Pat is probably supporting one
Live,
of the
sir.
monsters. It's Lancy. Well, welcome to the guys next
Welcome
door,
in.
everybody.
Welcome in.
So welcome in. So this is just to give you guys what the guys next door. This is where the story happened. We have a special guest today. The backbone of Patrick Richards' channel, the mods, to tell us their story, right? So we've been interviewing DJs and streamers, but right, this episode we're gonna be interviewing the mods, the unsung heroes, the true MVPs. We're gonna fill in a few stories that's happening behind the scenes. So thank you, Patrick Richards, to on the raid. And oh my God, this is amazing. I'm speechless and speechless. So we were talking about what's happening. So we are the guys next door. Well, and we will be. This is our second season. We do this every Monday. We have interviewed a lot of different streamers, different different communities, and they told their stories. Everybody has their stories to tell. So right now we have Lanzirelli and TimPadilla telling their stories. So stick around. So we're gonna be having those spicy questions answered by Lanzi and Tim. And there is also a section on the show where you can ask your question, and they are obliged to answer contractually. They sign a fine print saying that you have to answer it. So prepare for that. So stay tuned. So we were just talking about how we're doing. Oz is doing great. Gus, how's your weekend? How about you? Everything's doing good.
Yeah. Everything's doing good. Streamed yesterday just for an hour, so it's glad to
That's
Hmm.
great.
glad to and then
Some
start
excellent
again,
tunes,
right?
man.
Then preparing. Yeah, thanks, man. And then preparing vacation. Going to Hawaii next month.
Oh
So
my.
still don't know what to do.
Damn.
So
Nice.
Well,
yeah.
well, glad you're going to going there, and hope you can take me. But speaking of that, because the reason why you are streaming back streaming, because we have the NBHT Kalayan raid train. If you don't know about the
Hmm.
Kalayan raid train, I'm gonna quickly go through this, and then we're gonna introduce the guests, because I feel like they're here for the guests, so I don't want to talk about us, right? So
Yeah.
yesterday we had the Kalayan raid train NBHD. We do this every Sunday. If you're a
Tim.
streamer, go and uh, hit us if you want to play for NBHD. We do this every Sunday. So hit us up if you want to go to NBHD. We'll do this for you if you're whether you're starting or just a seasoned streamer. Go to NBHD. So I'm just gonna quickly jump to their guests because I'm excited. So I'm gonna introduce them, guys. If you can let them in on the stage. So these two streamers, right? Not streamers, so mod. Fuck, I'm nervous. What's happening? I don't. I'm not usually nervous, but
It's,
did
you're
I?
letting the
Yeah,
police in the channel, dude.
You're
I
You know.
nervous,
know, right?
man.
I feel like everybody is fucking looking at me right now. But today, the guys next door, we're flipping the camera around because, as like I said, every smooth stream out there, every the chill chat that's happening, the hype train, there's a mod making magic happen behind the scenes, right? And tonight we got the two of the realest, most respected, and probably the most of the over caffeinated community heroes on Twitch, because they're everywhere. I don't know how many they're modding. It's like you, us. You guys are everywhere. There's the one that really keeping the high vibes, and also, keeping the nonsense very low. So fuck those nonsense. So that's what they're doing, right? First up, we got, I'll put him on. We got TimPadilla, the quiet storm with a fast ban finger. I heard you are so fast in banning people because you have a sixth sense, or something. He's kind of the mod that doesn't watch chat. He reads the fucking room, right? And then right beside him is Lanzi, a true mod machine, right? I heard you have alerts, spreadsheets, a speedy calm energy when the streamer is spinning sideways, especially if you're modding for Pat Richards, right? I can't, I can't even fathom how to do that, right? Together, they're modded some of your favorites communities on on Twitch, and keeping it classy on those chaotic streams, right? They build reputation as the backbone of the Twitch channels that tonight. You're gonna hear them. We're handing them the mic. We talk about mod life, the unseen grind, and why some streamer wouldn't last 5 minutes without people like them, because they're gonna be advanced. All right. Welcome to the States, Tim and Lancy. How are you guys? And thank you for joining the Guys Next Door show.
Thank you so much for having us. I'm doing good. Just left Pat's stream to come here.
Yes. Well, thank you for the raid. And Tim, how are you doing?
Doing well. Thank you. Appreciate you guys having me.
Yes. So just curious, how many channels do you guys mod? Like Lancy, you go first.
Well, I used to be a mod for like over 25 channels, and that was too much for me. I unmodded myself from a lot of different channels just because I could not handle it all. Like I felt like it was a lot. So now it's like 7, 8, something like that.
How many of those do you try and actively mod at one time? Do you ever get caught where you're trying to mod for Patrick or someone else, and you've got two other streamers going, and they're looking a little slim on the mod support? Have you ever tried to deal with 2 or 3 and actively mod them?
I used to do that simultaneously, but I don't have the space for it, so now I just kind of do one at a time.
I hear you.
That's hard.
Yeah, it's overwhelming if you try to do multiple at the same time. And I really like to get into the vibe of the stream, so I really try to just pay attention to one at a time.
Sure.
Nice.
Sure. Drop in on one if you're there, say hi, how you doing, bye, and then back to your main stream. I hear you.
Yeah.
How about you, Tim? How many you mod right now?
So I only actually mod for a couple. I primarily have modded for Bex from Chicago, which is where I first met y'all. And have kind of branched out a little bit and modded for Space Taco a little bit, and a couple other channels kind of temporarily. So I'm kind of, if anything, coming from the other end of like knowing, okay, I only have so much time to do it. I'm almost always modding from my phone, so I know I can be locked in, but pretty much just for that one stream as opposed to hopping around. So my toes in a little more, but.
Are you open to adding that? Because I know I know somebody's looking for a mod right now. I think Lavelle official or something like that. Are you interested in adding more to that, or you're good right now?
I'm good for now, but what I've found is I kind of like feel out, and if there's a channel that I'm already kind of spending that time in anyways, it's almost easier for me to just like, oh yeah, just go ahead and like
that's true.
throw the sport on there, as opposed to like it being like, oh, let me switch over to maybe a stream that I don't watch as much. Just so far.
Sure.
So I totally agree with that.
Yeah, you mentioned you were there. So is that how you guys got pulled into modding? Essentially, you're lurking, not lurking. You're chatting, you're interacting. Is that where you guys got modded? Hey, you feel like you're always here. Let me give you the sword. How did you guys end up with that?
Yeah, in my case, I mean, I started modding basically as Beck started streaming. She had maybe a few streams going on, and a few people had said, oh, it'd probably be good if you had a mod, and I thought about trying it out just because I had been spending a good amount of time in different streams. So it kind of just worked out that I was able to be, her first mod and kind of grow with the channel and kind of get an idea of what it can start with and what it can build to. And I feel like that's kind of given me a lot of perspective to be able to kind of catch up, since I've only really been on Twitch for a couple of years myself.
Sure. About you, Lance, you 25, so that's a lot. So how long have you been how long you been modding? Since like what?
I've been on Twitch for just over 3 years. As far as like actively in the DJ community, my first stream was Sahar, music by Sahar.
Right.
She was on her couch and DJing on her coffee table. She had a bunch of stuffed animals around her. She had a bong on the table. I was like, yeah, man, this is great.
Is that the bong? Oh, I like this shit. You got a bong on that table. Nice.
I pretty much I started watching her a lot. I got rated into all these different channels in the community. So many people to mention. Ethan Dub, Pat, Tacosaurus Mex, Space Taco, just every pretty much every streamer in the community that has been around for a while. I got rated into. The High Vibes had just started.
High Vibes, yep,
yeah, so it was really awesome to just find so many people within days. Martino Eduardo is another one. It was really, really cool. But the reason I got modded was because somebody else had made me a mod, because they had jokingly asked if anybody wanted to be a janitor, and anybody who said yes was made a mod. So then somebody suggested that, I think it was actually Tacosaurus Max that suggested that I become a mod for Sahar. So I modded for Sahar for a long time, and a lot of other streams suggested me to become a mod. I think I got asked maybe a couple times. I didn't really get asked by everybody, but that's how I became a mod of so many different channels, is just people saying, Lanzy's a good mod, you should mod her.
Did you guys know exactly what you want to do when you need to do when you guys they made you a mod? Because I
had no idea what I was doing. I did have a lot of guidance from Tacosaurus Mex, and I'm Just a Girl, and a few other people, and that was helpful. But really, I've kind of changed my modding style, I guess you could say, over the years, because I realized that it's the streamer's stream. It's not my stream. I'm not just gonna do whatever I want. I mean, I'm gonna ask the streamer what they want out of having a mod. If that makes sense.
Yep.
No, absolutely.
Well, yeah, it definitely makes sense, because sometimes I also feel, because I mod for a few channels, only a few, not 25. But I feel like you have. Do you guys feel that sometimes you have to intervene or do something, but you don't know if the streamer will allow you, and how you guys go through that?
Yeah, it depends. I definitely think, like with Pat's stream, I've been modding really closely with him for a long time. I've asked him 5 million questions. We do DM sometimes if it's something that we're not sure how to deal with. But we're pretty much on the same page, because we've just talked about it. I've asked a million questions, and I kind of know how he wants to run things. So,
right. Timpa, did you get like a mod orientation with Bex or something before you could do that? Do they do that?
Nothing that I came across. I was in the same boat of, ask a lot of questions, being worried about, doing it right. And took a bit of guidance from other people who I saw who did some modding, including Lanzy, seeing her in Pat's stream or elsewhere, and trying to get a feel for where people are not inserting themselves, but you want to be a presence, you want to be visible, whether someone has a question or just shouting people out and things like that. But like she said, you don't want to take over. It's not my stream, it's not my show, and so communicating with the streamer, and primarily Bex in this case, get an idea for what she wants her channel to be, and how the direction that she wants to see it, or what areas might be something that she's okay with, where certain topics are kind of steer away from those. And I think early on I was a bit more stiff and a bit more uptight, and kind of just learned to kind of relax and get a feel for the channel. It kind of just becomes second nature after a while, because I am communicating with the streamer or the other mods who might be around.
So you guys both mentioned taking over, Lancy. What do you mean by taking over instead of it's their channel? What's an example? I mean, did you see other, I will say, channel that does that?
I don't know if I said taking over, but I know that before before I kind of had that line of communication regularly with streamers, I would just do what I saw other mods doing, and I would just take advice from other mods instead of actually asking the streamer what they wanted.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Like as far as like shout outs, promotion, when a ban should happen, those things. Like it's really important to know what the stream exactly, what the vibe is there.
Right. And you mod for multiple channels. Do you have a different mod style for every different channel, just because it's a different vibes, it's different perspective?
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah.
And can you give us an example of that? I know, you have a different style. Well, I don't think you have a different style with Ethan and Pat, because probably said, but what are those examples? I think a lot of other mods could learn on this. Yep.
Well, I guess let me just kind of back up with being a mod. One of the things is if you become a mod of a stream, whether you've been asked or however you became a mod, you definitely want to know the vibe of the channel. You probably should be there, as far as like before you even become a mod, you probably should be a regular person there.
Absolutely.
And additionally, like, especially for DJ streams, you kind of want to keep the vibe going. If it slows down, just like fill it in, just keep it rocking and keep things moving. But I mod for a gaming stream, mod for Cthulhu, and Cthulhu does a lot of stuff, either automated or by himself, and I can kind of back up and just like be involved with the stream and play games with him and, do fun stuff, and then with Ethan Dub, it's kind of the same thing. Like you just want to keep the vibe rolling. With his stream, he's got different elements than a lot of other people have. He's got the stream avatars. He's got interactive GIFs that you can make pop up on screen. You can activate a yeet ball game, which is like a interactive basketball game. There's all kinds of stuff that you can do.
Played that once. I saw.
Yeah.
So I guess what you're saying, instead of you can just be there protecting the vibe, right? In control, meaning you don't need to take over, like modding it per se, because there are bots that will take care of that, automated stuff that will take care of it. You're just there to protect the vibe. Is that the same for you, Timpa? With the channels that you modded, are you there to protect the vibe, handle the trolls, like that?
Kind of all of the above, and it is a lot of adjusting to the stream that you're in, but also then adjusting to what the situation is. So in my case, I primarily have modded with Bex, but also a bit with Space Taco. And for those who know, those two streamers, basically one who tends to play a lot more like house and deep music and very vibey, and Space Taco is very big on not just music but some of like the heavier music like Wubs, and also very much a cannabis advocate. And so the topics or certain things that might be talked about in one channel might be a little different than in another. And it's not that it's one is right or wrong, it's just kind of feeling out, what's the audience, what's the streamer's expectation of who are they presenting to? Are we talking about someone who's primarily just doing it for publicity and trying to get live gigs? Or are we talking about someone who this is their livelihood, essentially full-time streamer? But also if it's kind of a slow night, and I might be more likely to throw in a few commands or things to kind of keep the chat going a little bit, while the DJ is busy doing their thing. Where if we just got a huge raid and it's super busy, I can kind of just like let things toast and kind of keep an eye on things, as opposed to inserting myself and no, I'm still gonna give all the same big shout outs that are then distracting the chat. It's kind of adjusting to what the situation itself might be.
Nice. Well, speaking of trolls, right? You guys have stories about a particular scenario where not just you ban them, just like you have to control because it's getting chaotic, things of that nature. I feel like when the stream is vibing, there's always this someone, right, that's just gonna, oh, fuck is this guy, killing the vibe. Have you guys have stories? And I think that we want to hear that story. Like Lance, you're just laughing there. I think you have a particular one in mind that you want to share with us.
I can't say that I do have a particular one in mind because there's so many that happen, but it's so sparing. Like it doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, it's usually like intense really quickly. Sometimes like it's possible for people to bring the vibe down and you kind of want to bring it back up. But yeah, I mean, what you were saying about Timpa earlier, I feel like if somebody's being a troll, straight up troll, I'm getting them the fuck out of there. Like they're out of here, dude. Like they're
Good
not
for you.
I
Look, yeah, because I'm very bad in banning, right? Because I try to play around with that person first and see, like let me see what you're really up to. But I have my limits, of course. We're just there, so like just spamming it. Okay, now you're out. But what's your limit? I guess it's just like certain things that person say, or just
like I said, it depends on the stream. But if it's pretty much the same across the board. If they're being sexist, racist, anything like that, they're fucking out. Like, get out of here. But yeah, I mean, for some people, for some streamers, they want the vibe to be right. And if somebody is continuously just spamming the chat with just
nonsense
or negativity, just like another thing is like getting around like banned words. A lot of people do that. There's so many different reasons why somebody might be banned, but well, survey just said talking to themselves instead of the chat. There are so many people that do that are not banned, so I don't know if that's a bannable offense.
Yeah, but guys, look, it's hard, right? Because sometimes, depending, you're right, Lance, depending on the stream and us, this. It's sometimes when somebody goes in the chat, there are, I find it hard to decipher really if they're being a troll or just that's their personality or they're being an asshole or just that's how they talk. Because sometimes we get international viewers, right? Because sometimes Google Translate doesn't really translate it. So you guys feel like you have to like constantly like analyze it? You guys feel that? And this is coming from my experience. So I'm just that bad.
Yeah, there's definitely a bit of that, and so I try to keep an eye out if something is an obvious ban or an obvious troll, like that's easy. If someone is being sexist or is coming in right off the bat, it's obvious they're not even trying to engage, they're just trying to disrupt. That's a lot easier, just one button, kind of move forward a little bit. It's when you have someone who is like, are they being serious? Is there a language barrier? Is it just like not understanding like the vibe of the channel and giving them a little bit of a chance? And so kind of learning that leeway, but also not giving someone so long of a leash that's something I had to run into kind of early on when I started modding, is not letting things go too long or giving someone a leash because I don't want to like get in the way. But now I'm thinking, okay, well, but now everyone else, including the streamer, the regulars, anyone else who may have just joined, now their experience is being tarnished or they're leaving because they're, so it's kind of having that perspective of, yes, I want to keep people's feelings and experiences in mind and think, oh, there might be something else going on there. But at the same time, it's not my job to cater to that one person who might be disruptive, who's then affecting however other many dozens of people in the room at that time. So it's
I mean,
it's
how
bad
bad does it feel? How bad does it feel from a mod point of view when you're watching chat and you've got one person or maybe two people, and they're just kind of pushing things a little bit. And you're sitting there and you're watching, trying to see how far they're going to go. You're watching your streamer, and suddenly you see your streamer has already hit the keyboard and they booted the person. And you're like, that's my job. I was supposed to take care of that before that. They're not supposed to have to break out of their vibe, whatever it is they're doing, to do what I'm here for. It just, how do you guys, have you guys had to deal with something like that? I mean, it's not earth shaking or anything, but have you ever looked and gone, oh shit, I should have done that?
Sometimes I get that feeling where like, oh, maybe I should have acted a bit quicker, but obviously the streamer, it's their stream. So if they want to go ahead and do what they think they need to do, go ahead, you know?
Sure.
I mean, I don't know if, obviously if they're taken out of their vibe to boot them, that might help them. That might help them get back into the vibe. Just be like, okay, that person's gone. Here I go on to the next song or whatever.
But have you guys feel that, so is there a moment where something that you feel like it's trollish, but it's really serious? Like, we advocate for helping mental health, right? And then sometimes we know Twitch, you go there because that's a way for them to kind of cope up and release. Have you ever like got into that situation like, I really don't know, is this really serious or it's just a troll, And I know that's hard too. You don't really know because it's text, it's words. There's no emotions, right? Have you ever had that situation?
I kind of like to relate some of this stuff that I see to like going to a bar and encountering somebody that's extremely drunk and they're just like just talking and saying things, and then they get to, they start yelling, they start getting upset about whatever. Somebody said in chat, a timeout goes a long way. That's so true, because it could be a regular person that's in your stream all the time that's never like that does that. So you time them out until the end of stream, or maybe for a whole week or whatever it takes. If, the next time they're in there, they're wild and crazy again, saying some whatever.
Wait, there's a timeout for a whole week?
Oh, you can do it for 18 days. Yes.
This is where I'm bad. We don't even know the commands. Even Gus, because we're so old, we can't click the button. Yesterday, when Great Stream, Gus was supposed to follow, and he actually time out. Like, and then they were complaining. I didn't notice a lot of this. That's why we're bad at modding, Gus.
I think a timeout will do a lot. Sometimes people will get timed out for the rest of the stream. They'll come to the next stream and they'll be like, whoops, my bad. But some of them will come back and do the same thing. They'll get really aggressive, and it's just like, all right, well, how many chances are you going to get to not be, disruptive? And about mental health. So with people that are expressing that they clearly need help and everything, I've definitely DM'd people before. That's another thing, Bone Daddy. I love that button, dude. So you can warn chatters. You can warn somebody to
I'm learning right
not
now.
do a certain thing. There's like a little button that says warn this person, and you can type a custom message in. You can either use one of the rules, or you can type a custom message and only they can see it, and they have to acknowledge it before they can chat again.
Pop up on the screen. They have to click it and acknowledge that they've read and acknowledge the warning, and it won't let them back in until they do.
Yep. And that's been really helpful. I actually really, really like doing that. But I don't do it very often. Like I said, some of this stuff just does not happen super often. At least not enough, to make a big deal out of it. But they are useful tools for when those things do occur, and like when you have to deal with something. So
that's
just in the last couple of years, in the time that I've been modding, just even seeing the evolution of the tools built into Twitch, as well as the bots that a streamer might have that are more likely to catch things like, early on it was getting a bunch of people suddenly spam following an account. I don't remember the last time I saw that. And so there are things that kind of adjust either way, but yeah, kind of feeling it out. That
sure.
Okay.
Do you think any of the new tools that we're seeing, like the warnings function, which is bloody cool, the shield mode probably doesn't lead that much. Do you think of any of this stuff that they've been putting out there has been impacted or driven a bit by the introduction or the push of the DJ community? Or do you think it's all just kind of a, I mean, Twitch was primarily a game streaming platform to begin with, and the DJs just kind of said, we can't get real life gigs. Let's see if we can make some money here. Do you think any of what happened there with DJs impacted what tools they decided to start working towards?
That's possible. They do have like a suggestions area where you can like post, hey, this is an idea that you guys could use, and then you can like get people to like it or whatever. Shield mode, I've had to use a couple times. It's usually for the only time I've ever had to use it was for bot raids. With somebody when somebody just sends a ton of bots to come follow you or come
That's crazy.
spam in chat or whatever. I've had to use it in Pat's stream, in my stream. I know Tagosaurus Mex has had to use it. But it's that's more of like extreme protection immediately. Doesn't need to be used very
How does
often
that work?
usually.
Because
You just click a little shield button.
I wish
Click
I'd
a
done that.
shield.
Yeah, because I thought we'd just get offline and go back on, because that's what I did with Grace, and she was, well, what you go? I don't want to.
I don't know if that would even
Why do you go offline?
really help,
Well, I mean,
but
it does
it
boot 'em
depends.
off.
Yeah.
It's
No,
basically
it
a
pops
mode
up.
that you
some
can
people
set all the
with a warning
settings in
when
advance.
you click it. Yep, you can
Even
set
if
up the
you're
settings how you
offline.
want to do. If you want it to be slow mode or followers only, or you have to been a follower for at least 30 days, or that sort of thing. And you hit the shield button. It says, "Are you sure you want to engage shield?" And you say, "Yep," and it locks it down. It does all the stuff, everything, whatever you want to set it for, it's there.
Yeah.
And Bone Daddy's got a good point. Siri bots really sell
I
for
heard
handling
good
that.
stuff for
Yeah.
Seribot, and that's pretty cool. But damn, we're learning here, Gus. You see how bad we are in modding?
Pat, are you
You're
wake
just
up every
learning.
day?
You're not bad. You're just learning. You're
I've
just
been
gonna,
I've been in Twitch
you
for a
know.
long time modding for Grace, and I didn't know about this. So I'm gonna hear a lot
You get
about
so
this
much crap
tonight.
about this. Yeah.
Oh my god, you know.
Yeah.
Have to step
And
up
I
it's-
my
feel like
game.
the only way I've learned a lot of stuff is by talking to other mods and talking to other streamers for sure.
True, Hallow.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and
So-
that's kind of what I've learned with all of this is regardless of what tools you have, the best thing you can do is to communicate with others, whether it's the streamer, other mods, other communities and things like that.
Sure.
But also on the actual modding side of it, sometimes you do get someone who either just doesn't understand the vibe of the room or had an off day or maybe did have a couple extra drinks. It doesn't always have to jump to that ban. And so being able
Right.
to, I don't do it often because I know you can stretch yourself too thin, but I do occasionally whisper someone and be like, hey, like, by the way, like this is kind of like the vibe of the room, or this is kind of a rule that we're keeping an eye on. But instead of immediately going to that ban or something like
Right.
that, especially for someone who may have had a similar experience, who maybe has a harder time with whether it's social cues or certain things, not just adding to that, okay, well, here's another channel I can't go to. It's a little bit of a human connection can go a long way to be like, I understand what's going
Nice.
on here. It doesn't seem like you're a bad person, but I also want to like protect the vibe of the room. So being able to kind of balance that a little bit when time allows, obviously, size of the room and whatnot can make a big difference that way.
What
We're
I'm
all
hearing
here,
is
the communities
ahead.
we're in are they're welcoming communities. I mean, you go into Grace's channel, you
Right.
go into Bax's channel, you go into these different channels where we're hanging and we're modding or whatever. The vast majority of these are open communities, welcoming communities. They're LGBTQ friendly communities. They care about mental health. They're it's a family, a loving, caring family.
Mm.
But we've had the discussion in more than one channel that we're not mental health specialists. The vast majority of us. I mean, we've got some people. Some of you
Yes.
know Sean. Sean works with victims of sexual assault, and Sean Johnson is he's an amazing human. There's no way I could handle
Yeah.
that sort of thing. But even with SJ, that's his day job. None of the rest of us, or at least the vast majority of the rest of us, we're not mental health professionals, and there has to be a line somewhere when you're dealing with people who come in and they're having a rough day and you try and work with them. Oh man, it's okay. Just hang here, touch some grass. You're home, your family. This is it. Just chill. And when they don't just settle down, you've got to be able to tell them, we love you, man, but you need some help, and
Right.
we're not that help, you know.
But I do you guys feel also that that emotional load you're talking about as a mod on that channel, or as even that a mod, just a regular, is that a way that we can help the streamer also, because the streamer's doing a lot already, and as people in the chat, when those when a person comes in and just want to offload, do you guys feel that you have to help the streamer carry that a bit, because it's just, hey, they're DJing, they're giving us music, you feel like you
So
have to control it.
there are a couple instances that I've had to kind of I felt the need personally, because I know these people in the community that were having issues, especially like with their
Uh-huh.
mental health. And I've DM'd them. I've gotten onto private calls with them to try to, just be a good community member, not just a mod.
Yes, yes.
Sure.
And it's hard. It's hard to kind of confront somebody that's going through a lot, especially if you're also going through a lot. But at the same time, like, if that person feels like they're really alone when they're around all these people that, do care, I think it is important sometimes to go into their DMs and let them know, like, you're cared for, like, you're important,
Sure.
and I hope you can take care of yourself, yeah, it's rough, but I've definitely been there to try to help.
Yeah. And we got sound decision coming. Hey Pat, how are you? I
Right,
just
Pat.
I just also, I think Pat asked me this one time. Just want to call him out. It's like, it's that also. We talk about the OGs. We had OG DJs that play just music versus the Twitch streamers, right? And we talk about, hey, they're there for music or they're there for something else. Pat asked that question to me a while ago. Is that, do we have a role also as streamers? To not really be your mental counselor, but more of that's just that person they go to so they can get away from life, right? But it's also hard sometimes, because there are purists, I would say, DJ that just want to just play music and they don't want to deal with that, right? It's just different. That's why we're saying Twitch is very diverse. There's a lot of different channels and communities out there that that they can go to, and uh, we help people unknowingly, right? Just by talking, right, to the mods, to the community, and listening to the music, right, Pat? So I think it's, I don't want to. I asked this one time to a streamer, do you feel that you're responsible for that? No, I think you should not. But at the same time, also, you can't help it, right? Even the mods, right? Especially if they're part of the community, you feel like they are there all the time. When they're having an issue or a problem, you want to support them. But with that though, outside of the chat, what are other venues actually you reach out for them to help out? Because sometimes you want to protect the vibe, to your point, Timpa, right? Are there any other mode of communication? You do email? Oh, I'm being old school. I am a Discord, IRC. You guys go to Discord and DM them and reach out.
It I can't think of too many times that I really followed up more than say like a whisper through Discord, unless it was specifically like maybe someone that I knew. But um, yeah, I mean that can be another venue, even if it's not. Oh, I'm reaching out to them on Discord. If I find sometimes that can almost be like an alternative place to recommend. Maybe they're not oversharing in the broad context, but maybe it's just not quite fitting with
Yeah,
the vibe of the stream, or it's kind of derailing things a little bit. But maybe there's a channel in the Discord for it, whether they're talking about something they're interested in, or maybe it's had a hard day and sharing, but not in necessarily in an objectively bad way. So just kind of reminding people that maybe there is that route to be able to share whatever it is that they're talking about, even if the people in chat aren't necessarily as excited about. So it's not always about, you know, punitive measures or about
right,
telling them like, oh no, this rule says you can't talk about that.
right.
Being able to give just a little bit of an outlet can go a long way, because I have had a few people that I have maybe whispered and mentioned, and then later thanked me for giving them the time of day to kind of explain why something they said might have been just not right for the room that they're in. So it's nice to kind of have that balance of knowing that it's more than just like the stereotype of mods of being
Yeah.
this like power hungry, or just just doing taking over a channel of not wanting to do that, but also understanding there's a reason that clubs have a bouncer or whatnot. It's just being able to maintain, even if that person isn't throwing people out the whole night. That just having that presence can be enough sometimes.
Well,
Sure.
yeah, that's fair. Bless you guys. But we talk about mental health for them. But how about your mental health, Asmon? Right, the sustainability. 25 channels, Lancy. Whew.
Yeah, like I
How
said,
do
I
you,
had to remove a lot of
yeah,
mod swords,
but how,
unfortunately.
but that alone, tells me that you at some point were you burned out, and how did you handle it outside of cutting down? How did you handle it?
So I kind of want to go back on the last part of the conversation that we were having, as far as like
Sure.
people going through mental health issues or having some kind of avenue. I think boundaries are really important, and I think that one really important thing that I've learned over years and years is asking somebody if they have space to hear what you have to say about whatever heavy thing that you're about to say. I think that's really, really important, because people are going through their own thing. My mental health, as far as being a mod, like I said, I did get a little overwhelmed. By having so many swords, I really did want to be everywhere at once, but it wasn't realistic. It was really anxiety inducing, and I felt bad. So I just decided one day, okay, I just got to remove some of these swords. And unfortunately, because I was so like overwhelmed at the time, I didn't reach out to those people that I removed the mod swords from. I kind of just became not a mod one day.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that was probably confusing for those people, but a lot of them didn't reach out to me either after I did it. So,
Wow.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
I feel like boundaries are really, really, really important. And I needed boundaries for myself, not just from other
Absolutely.
people, just for myself, because I was just going to do everything in the world, and just, not really think about how it was affecting me. With otherwise, with just modding in general, like I said, because I've kind of pulled back and I'm just modding for a few channels, it's not as overwhelming at all anymore. So
Okay. But do you guys have your own like schedule? Like especially when you're I mean, even 8 is a lot, right? For me, at least for me. I don't know. Do you guys set yourself so you have a lot too, right? Do you guys set schedules that, hey, if I'm on Gus's channel, I'll be on lurk mode because I'm modding for this channel because they're in the same time. Do you guys set that, and how do you communicate that to the streamers?
um for me, Pat has a specific schedule. I mod for all of Pat's streams. Um I think the last one I missed was in October, but with other streamers, like I have things to do on Wednesday nights, and Cthulhu streams on Wednesday nights. Sometimes Ethan Dub is streaming at the same time as Pat, or the same time as Cthulhu, or the other people that I mod are streaming at the same time that I am, or it just
Right?
depends. So I try to just balance it as well as I can, and I join the stream when I can, and yeah.
Do you have any channels that require you to be there? And like
No,
just said that.
no,
And the
nope.
reason I'm asking is because we had this discussion last season wherein actually there's a requirement from a channel I'm not gonna name said that, oh, they have to be there for a certain reason. If they what was it, Gus? They miss 3 streams, they're out. They got unmodded. Yes, it's
That's
crazy. What?
anxiety inducing.
Wow.
Because I asked them, do you pay them? They said they actually pay them. All right, so that's
Oh, they get
different.
paid. Okay, so
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
different. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Like a big gaming streamer.
No, it's not. Well, I wish, right? But what do you? I mean, how much do you pay them? They get them gift cards. Oh, fuck that. I'm not. That's not. I mean, still, you give me a gift card to Wawa. I mean,
I'll go to Chipotle.
yeah. Gotcha. but do you feel like how do you feel about those channels that actually require their mods to be there? Because it's like, hey,
I think
you're a
that's
mod.
realistic
You
if
have
they're not
certain
getting paid.
roles. Absolutely, right?
I think mods should have their own boundaries. I think mods should also. Let me just say this. I think if you want to mod somebody, you should ask them first.
Absolutely. Yep.
That's another thing. If they don't want to mod for you, sorry, they'll say no. But I think it's really important to ask if somebody wants to be a mod and do anything extra than just vibe,
Yeah.
But
absolutely, right? Yeah. And if the mods, if that person say no, then don't. Yeah, that's fine, right? Because you ask, right? So that's really what it is. It's so some mods think of it. It's also like they're happy because they're there. Because always there might be a mod, but you don't require them to be there, right? I think I'm the only mod here that is.
We do this for fun.
Except,
we do this for fun. We don't do this to be told what to do.
Careful, don't be saying I don't do it for fun.
There's one mod here, me. That's just well, I do it for fun too. Shit, I'm gonna get in trouble, but I'm required.
You've never missed a stream, right? You've never missed.
I never miss a stream.
But you also want to be there. You want to be there.
I want to be there. That's right, Lance. That's right.
You want to be there and not on the couch.
If somebody tells me what to do, I want to be there less. Is kind of how I feel.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I want you to be there, Lance. I'm streaming in 2 hours, but that just kills it, right? It's just.
I mean, I do want to know. I do want to know when people are streaming. I do want to know when people are streaming, especially if they're popping up. I'll be there if I can be there.
Yeah, and having a streamer that has a pretty set schedule. I mean, Bex pretty much just streams 2 days a week with occasional pop-ups and raid trains and whatnot. So that kind of makes it easy to know. Okay, well, I'll either be there at that time, or if I'm busy, just let her know in advance, and it's not a big deal. But it's all about kind of setting that expectation in advance with the streamer, whether it's for that specific stream or just in general, knowing that like if I'm there, then I'll do mod stuff, and if I'm not, then it's not a big deal, as opposed to them expecting someone to be there. Because I could understand if someone has a couple hundred people in their stream every single time, and then suddenly they've got no mods. You want at least some knowledge of who's going to be around, but that's a lot different than saying like, oh, and if you aren't there for a certain number of times, then you're no longer.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Bones put it a good way. Modding is an honor, but dude,
exactly.
Not that I want to be there to mod for someone, but there's only so many hours in a day, and that's so true, man.
Yeah,
I mean, we all of us would love to be there for all of our streamers, I know, but we're only human,
So what do you guys do if they do a pop-up? It's not there, and then you're at work, you're in your job, and then you see they have like 200 there, and then you just glance on your phone. Oh shit, I have to be there. Do you feel that I'm gonna take a break wherever you are and let's go and at least mod for half an hour? Do you guys ever feel that you have that that responsibility? Good answer.
I feel bad for missing the stream because I want to experience
you missing
the stream.
Yeah.
It's not about being a mod there. It's about being there. I just want to, be there and hang and vibe with everybody.
Exactly. Well, you'll be getting FOMO because that's gonna be a fun one. I'm not there. I'm missing it. I'm gonna miss a conversation.
That's another reason why it's really important to have a line of communication with the streamer. Sorry if I interrupted.
Exactly. That's essentially what I was getting at. Yeah, like having a streamer who not only has a pretty set schedule, but is also pretty good at communicating, whether it's directly with the mods or has a Discord where they announce, there is going to be this pop-up, this live gig. Like most of the time, it's in their interest, and it kind of works out for us that to actually say, I'm going to be streaming, and here's the time that you can actually show up. So it kind of gives us more of a heads up.
Sure.
Can you guys give us tip on how to make the chat healthy or not killing the fun? Is there a trick that you guys do? Or let's say I'll rephrase it a little bit because I think Grace told me this on one. She was on the Discord. I think one Discord about somebody asking. A streamer was struggling because because she just want to play music, but they're struggling how to not control the chat, to how to keep the chat get engaged. Right? Is there a trick that you guys do keep them engaged? There's gonna be a time that there's nobody's chatting.
I mean, you can ask the
Right?
chat questions. You can
Yeah.
put a bunch of emotes in chat. Like we kind of use emotes in DJ streams as like we're dancing. And if you're moving, somebody else is going to want to move with you. So if you keep the chat moving, people will join in for sure.
Okay. So you have something there?
Well, I have
You have
noticed something. This is a counterpoint to the what do you do to keep the chat moving. One thing that out of several of the channels I've discovered is not really helpful is to enabling the slow mode. When you start introducing the slow mode, even if you've got a bunch of people that have just hit a raid and the chat is just rolling, at least with the streamers where we had the discussion, the response from the streamer was, if the chat's just rolling and rolling and rolling, that's fine. I'm not there to take feedback from the chat to apply to what I'm doing. I'm getting feedback from the fact that they are there and that they're interacting, and then they're obviously seem to be moving, but I'm not going through the chat and pulling out bits and pieces and applying it to what I'm doing. I'm there to DJ. I'm there to interact with the stream, but I'm there to provide the music. So as long as they're having fun, it's not necessary that I be able to read every single line in the chat as it goes by. So don't slow it down. Just let it go. If you see a troll, kick them out. Otherwise, just let it flow.
But do you think that's not helping the streamer? Because sometimes I heard from a lot of streamers that they feel bad if they miss something, like a hi or
Sure.
hey, I acknowledge, and then if the chat is moving like fast, and then they get acknowledged, do you feel? Do you think that the streamers helps
I
them
think
to read that?
I think you can run into a situation where a streamer feels that they need to catch every single person as they come through, but I think that when you get into an environment where you've got a 200-person raid that just dropped in, and you've got all those people rolling through chat, the streamer's not going to be able to say hi to every one of those. They're just not, and you get feedback from the people in chat of, I couldn't chat. I had to wait 10 seconds. I had to wait 5 seconds. I couldn't keep typing, blah,
Wow.
blah, blah. And that'll push the energy down. If people see the chat bouncing quicker than they can easily see, they're not expecting the streamer to roll all the way back up and catch every single one of them saying hi.
That's
I would
great.
guess.
I'm learning. This is all great stuff. But
I mean, there
Lancy,
are some. Go ahead.
yeah, I know. Go. I'll let you finish. Sorry.
Like I say, there probably are some streamers that would prefer that you enable that, but that goes back to what they both said: is you have to talk to your streamer. You have to find out what they want, when they want it, how they want you to deal with something. If they want you to kick in the slow mode at some point in time, then you do it. But I haven't had one yet that we've had the discussion about the slow mode that said, oh yeah, make sure if it gets to this point, turn that on. I want to make sure I'm catching this. None of the ones that I've dealt with have said that so far.
Oh wow. But
Yeah, and as much as we've kind of talked about like different like mod actions that we can take, whether it's bans or timeouts and things like that, honestly, what I find as a mod, my function it often is, especially in those moments where it might be busier or get a big raid, is to look out for, did someone get missed? Did someone say hi and maybe the streamer just didn't see them because they're in the middle of mixing and DJing and all the things that they're doing. Whether that's a shout out because they're a streamer as well, or just saying hi to them, and now the streamer is able to see me interacting with them, which kind of like brings them back up. So there's a bit of the greeter slash bouncer function of welcoming someone into the room, and if the DJ is busy, good, that's they're up there playing the music, they're kind of that main entertainment. And so to be that person who's able to kind of bridge it and kind of point someone out and make sure someone doesn't get missed, that can kind of
exactly
pull
flag
someone into the
the $20 tip here, or the 5 packets of subs that just dropped and the streamer didn't catch it because it's rolling. That's what we're there for, man. That's why we're there.
But do you, Lancy? I'm gonna take your. I want to know what your take here. Do you feel though that for, let's say, new people coming in, if and again, I heard this from some that if they don't get acknowledged, they because I didn't see it, or the streamer didn't see it, that's going to turn people away. Do you think that's having that just go will turn people away, especially with a big mud?
Depends on the person, I guess, that's saying something in chat for the first time. I know that all of the streamers that I mod for make a point to welcome every single new chatter in, but some of those new chatters never come back. So it depends on whoever it is that's coming in and saying something. I always will greet them no matter what, even if it's just with emotes. Yeah, I think it is really important to greet everybody, but that's kind of more the mods thing than the streamers thing, I feel. But it is important also. I think that people do feel welcomed when a streamer does say their name and is like, "Hey, I see you. You're here. Thank you."
But do you guys feel that it's also a culture thing, right? Because we're all in, understand this, right? But there are certain cultures like South Americans, Asians, right? We're all over, right? That sometimes our take is different from theirs. Yeah. Some of them really want to get acknowledged, right? You think that's also culture and also factors with that, and that's what's tough about modding, because you don't know where they came from, right?
I've definitely seen people from other countries that are like, they'll say in the first couple of messages, I don't really speak English that well. And then they'll keep saying things like that until they get acknowledged. I think that happens a lot. But I don't know. Like I said, it depends on the person. Everybody's different, and people do want attention. I think that's the thing.
Yes.
Regardless of the culture.
I think that's another thing to take a look at, because some let's face a lot of these people on going on Twitch is they want a lot of attention. I know a culture because there's something also in our culture that kind of different to what I'm used to here in America. That's back in Asia, so it's tough, right, for a mod to handle that. But it's okay. I just want to go back to what Bone Day said about healthy. Yeah, healthy. Yeah, healthy is for me is fun, right? It's you're doing socials. That's healthy for me. Drinking, just like that. Just wanna that. Quick question, right? So follower only or sub only chat? Do you think it's a safeguard or it's
No.
just a lazy mod strategy?
Lazy. No.
I don't know
It's Theory bot if you're worried about bots.
Yeah.
You can say that you will see people. I think like in NBHD, one of the rules says, "Hey, you're gonna go in the raid and take that off, because we're trying to expand and meet people. You don't want people will stay if they like the vibe, right? People, you can't control that."
I intentionally did not stick around in 2 streams today, simply because when I got rated in there, they were follower only chats. I'm like, I'm sorry, if you're gonna be that much of a gatekeeper on it, I've got a huge long list of people that are online right now. I'll go find somebody else to chill with. Yeah, no, I no follower only, no sub onlys.
Do you think Twitch should compensate mods officially?
Should they is up to them. I would appreciate it, but I don't think it'll ever happen.
Not that they're asking a lot, but do you think they should take a look at it? Because I feel like they're a big part of the channel, right? It's again, it's always the backbone for every streamer, right? And I know there are, not saying other channels, I think there are some that people go back because they love the mods. They love the channel, of course, but they also like the mods that people are in there because they're very accommodating outside of the channel.
Where does that compensation come from, though?
A good question.
You gonna take it from the streamer? Or?
Take it from the Universal Music Group.
Oh, now I can get behind that.
There you go. That's what I want to hear. You know,
I can
I
get
don't know.
behind
I
that.
mean, but that's a good question. I mean, just right now, I think that's gonna be because the whole like the monetization of the channel itself is hard already, right? So do you take a percentage of that? Maybe, but that's still have to be a discretion of the streamer, right? Because if you get a mod, you mean that hey, I'm sharing you some of the money I'm getting. I don't know. I mean, just
some of the streamers in our community do this full time, and I would feel really terrible to take any of their money away from them. Honestly,
I think Coops wants an allowance. Is what that's why we're here. Coops wants an allowance from Grace. That's why we're here. That's why we're at this spot.
No, that's not
Where's
the question.
Grace? Where's Grace?
There you go.
Oh crap! She always get me in trouble. No, it's just like I just want to see. They put in the labor, the emotional labor, everything, right? I don't know. I mean, it's just I just came into my mind. Would Twitch do something? Maybe no, but it still has to be the discretion of the streamers, right? They can't just be I'm a mod now, automatically get in. But it's
clearly, I
tough,
still
though.
feel like some type of way about the agreement they made with the big record label. But yeah, I don't know. I would feel bad to take more, even though they're already taking way more than they need to from streamers already.
Yeah, and if anything, we're seeing kind of like the front row seat of what it takes for a streamer to even get to the point where they are to still struggle through that of it, what is the balance and who's getting paid the certain amount. So it would be nice, but based on just kind of the structure of how all this is put together, it doesn't seem very likely.
Okay.
We wish for it, but
yeah. I think Lancy just won a Chipotle gift card, and she's happy, right? Pat, give her a Wawa.
No, Pat doesn't need to give me anything.
Yeah, give her a Wawa. Ethan,
Nope.
you're there. Give Lancy a Wawa gift card. I'll tell Bex to give you something.
Well, and I think Lancy kind of said something to this effect early on. Is like we're in these streams because we enjoy them, whether it's the music or the experience or the social aspect of it, all of it. And so having something where we're having fun and then maybe also doing a couple extra things because we have the sword, it is a lot different than if we were showing up to a place that we have no investment in or no interest or any of that. So kind of see it more of as almost like a hobby that has a couple extra responsibilities that aren't really all that serious at the end of the day.
Sure.
Okay. And there's so many rules, right? But what of in Twitch already? But what's the most overrated Twitch mod rule or best practice that you think is out there?
Overrated Twitch mod rule.
I have one.
Shouting every single person out that's in chat. You do not need to do that. You don't need to do that. Shout outs are so effective. And if you really, really focus on shout outs the whole stream, they're going to mean nothing. They're going to mean absolutely nothing. And people are not going to click the button.
So I'm a little bit on the fence there. And then I don't know the answer, I guess. Do I feel I need to? Again, coming from a different culture, we started NBHD with the Filipino culture. And there's this thing that I keep saying, I go against the grain, but a lot of our culture wants to be recognized, and the shout out is a big part of it. And that's why I got used to that I feel like I need to tell everybody, say shout out to everybody. That's why I ask. For me, it's an overrated rule. I still have to do it because I feel bad. Is that similar to everybody?
So in our community, we have about 1 million streamers that are in chat. It's impossible to shout every single person out.
Thank you.
If you make the shout out special, people will actually listen and follow that person instead of having shout outs just every single 2 minutes, because that's there's a time frame where you can shout somebody out and then you have to wait 2 minutes and then you have to wait an hour to shout that person out again. There's cooldowns, but I think it takes up a lot of chat when people are having fun, talking to each other. And additionally, like, I would love to support every single streamer in this community. And I really do try to follow anybody that I know that streams from this community. But the shout outs every single second of a stream is really overrated to me. So I work with streamers and I find out, like, when do you want me to shout people out? And that's when I will shout them out.
What for you guys, to make it special or to do something, what's an alternative for that? What do you think should you do? Just, or you leave that to the streamer to say it, because it has to come from a streamer to tell, mods, hey.
Yeah, it's up to the streamer. A lot of streamers say, I want to shout everybody out in chat. But the people I mod for, typically, they say, shout out to this person, they do this specific thing, and then I will shout them out once they're actually shouted out by the streamer themselves. I don't take it upon myself to shout every single person out unless they've rated in. That's the other thing. If they rate in, that's a big deal. So
yeah, there's dozens of streamers they could end up in someone else's channel. The fact that they chose the one you're at, yeah, they get a shout out. Absolutely.
But that also kind of depends on the situation a little bit too. So as you get to learn a community, whether it's because they're just in that channel, or especially because we do have a community that we run into each other in a lot of different channels, you get to know someone, you know that they know a streamer, and they know, you kind of just know in advance who is going to deserve is the wrong word, but who the streamer themselves would want to make sure to shout out. But a lot of it is listening to, does the streamer actually see them and say something and acknowledge that. And so of course there's a good time for a shout out there, but there are times where I'll just interact with someone because I know them and maybe they are a smaller streamer that not as many people know, so I'm more likely to try to include a shout out, but not just a blind, like, oh, here's a pop-up, figure it out, hopefully you click on it. More of an actual interaction, whether it's me directly with them, or the community is able to kind of see them interacting with chat, as opposed to someone just kind of shows up, says hi, they get shouted out and leave. Yeah, that's not really giving you any reason to follow them in the first place. Where if I can let the streamer talk about it or reference it and throw some people their way, letting their community kind of build slowly as well, as opposed to just shout everyone out and then it doesn't mean anything for anyone.
Yep. So just want to highlight again, I think I saw Newhouse say it, so there are some people who get offended if they don't get a shout out, which is absurd, to be honest. But I think, I just feel like, for me, that's, I guess, not the shout out /shout out, but just to do that bot of shout out everyone. I still feel like I need to do it. For me, I think it's overrated. I mean, to your point, Lancy, there's a lot. If you do that, you're just going to be typing the whole time, right?
Another thing, if you're doing that to every single person, there's 100 people in chat. It takes up a lot of space. If the streamer wants to see everybody and greet everybody, they're not going to see anything. Another thing to make it special is a lot of DJ streamers will play other streamers' music that they've produced. And that's really important. And if you know that it's another streamer, you can shout them out because they're playing that song. I think that's a big one.
Nice. Well, this is a very interesting one with Bone Daddy. I should have get Bone Daddy on the don't you?
Yes, if they raid the streamer, they should get a shout out. Absolutely.
Raid, even if it's one viewer, like
everyone is relevant. What makes them irrelevant?
That's a good point.
If they want to be a part of the community by rating a stream, absolutely you get a shout out. Absolutely.
I may then notice on a future time if they're only showing up to get the shout out and not engaging the channel at all. But I think for the most part, you get people who are more engaged than that.
And we had a couple of those, and we had to bump the limit up a little, where you have to come in with at least like 3, I think, to keep the people from coming in with themselves and their dog or something, just to try and get, like Bone says, just picking a bigger streamer, just trying to get exposure. They're not there really to be part of the community. They're just trying to kind of slide in and get some extra stuff for themselves.
But how do you know though if they're just trying to expect just get that promotion, or they're just being really genuine? Like, I only have 2 streamers.
If they come
I
in and
wonder
they
that.
hang out, and they're chatting with the bot, or chatting with the mods, and they're chatting with everybody else in the stream, they're chatting with the streamer, they're there because they want to be part of the community. If somebody comes in with 2 people and drops into the stream and never says anything and just leaves, or maybe a hi and they're gone, they're not there to be part of the community, And yes, everybody is relevant, but that's someone who's not there necessarily to be part of the community, but more to take advantage of the community. And you got to try and figure out if that's something you're okay with, and that the streamer's okay with.
I kind of disagree.
I
kind of disagree.
Well,
sure.
Well,
because what if that person needs to go walk their dog immediately after stream? What if they're doing something else and they can't talk?
No, I understand that. That's absolutely. So they come in and they jet and run, no big deal. But then 2 days later they come back in and they do it again, and then a couple, 3 or 4 days later they come in and they do it again. They're just coming in, they never say anything. They come in with 1 or 2 people and they just leave. That doesn't sound like someone who wants to be part of the community.
How do you know that when they're coming in that they want to be a part of the community? How do you gauge that?
I think any interaction is being part of the community. Someone who comes in and says, "Hey, like the sounds here, like the music, like the community. How are you doing? Had a great stream." Any sort of interaction, I think it's a really low bar to join the community. It doesn't take much of anything to spend an extra 30 seconds to go, "I'm really sorry, I've got to go take care of this. I had a great stream. It sounds like a great place to hang. I'll try and come back soon." You can do that in a heartbeat, and that's enough of an interaction to at least pretend to be part of the community. Maybe they just want the same stupid thing. They just want to try and get more bodies, but at least they're making the effort to at least appear to be part of the community.
You're saying the consistency of the presence, right? Of them being there. Lanzi, I just want to get your take on that one. Yeah.
I don't know. I see people who do engage with the community that don't want to be a part of the community all the time. So it's hard to gauge that.
So now flip that question, right? How do you know that they engage but they are not part of the community?
Just observing for a long time, the same people kind of coming into chat, saying hi to the streamer, leaving immediately.
What if they're lurking and there's something? Is that considered support still?
If they're lurking, absolutely, but usually they don't. Usually they leave and go to another stream to do the same thing.
Okay, so this is a very interesting. So now that you were trying to a lot of the people in the community support others, right? They leave their tab open. Is that the same though for? If you're jumping from one tab to another, you left because you're not part of the channel because you want to support the others. Isn't that part of supporting also?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that that engaging with the chat, with the streamer, that's all part of being a part of the community. Absolutely. But some people just want that attention for half a second, and then they'll leave and go do the same in another channel. Some people don't want to be an actual part of the community. That's just the fact. I don't know. I think it's a bummer that when it happens, because the community is really cool. But,
right. Is there like a time that you need to spend on the channel to kind of gauge that?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I usually just observe a lot of things that are happening in the channel, and that's something that I've seen a lot.
Yeah, and besides just seeing our own interactions with the channel or with a particular user, just seeing the chat history can be handy if it's something I'm not familiar with, but I click on it and I go back and I see a list of times that they've interacted on previous streams, and that's a lot different than someone who's literally just showing up and not begging for a shout out, but essentially looking for something without giving. But it's such a small percentage of people that we're talking about that it's usually not an issue.
I think that is part of it too. Maybe if they don't get the shout out is when they leave. Yeah.
Okay. So how, I guess, I'm trying to learn here, guys. So how I'm trying to observe also a lot of these. If they're there, what if they're not chatty?
Being a lurker is fine, and that's no big deal at all. I think being a lurker is very important, actually.
Pillar of the community.
Yeah, exactly. It's really important.
And you're not going to get a guidebook here, Coops. You're not going to get a series of rules. If this, then that. If this, then that.
Yeah, but
the ends are really small, man. If this person's a dick, then they go. That's the rule.
It's just enlightening, right? Because we've been on Twitch for years now, but still, like, it's just the observation coming from the mods, right? And every mod observe what they're doing in the channel. You will get a lot of these, I guess, behavior that you understand it. So this is, I love it. This is great. All right. Well, so I want to do some questions, like more of a rapid fire, like it's a mod edition, right? And I just want to get you take. Don't need to explain, but just tell me what it is. And you're part of this, right? So
okay.
I got a few here. We're gonna go Lanzi, Tim, and then Oz, right? All right. Well, first, rapid fire question: favorite emote to spam in chat? Oh, she's gonna actually do
it. Let me just double check. I just changed over from my top, to a different computer, so my top emotes are all messed up. They're not. They're not.
I hate that.
Lately,
I know I should keep track of them or something.
This one has been really great. This one has been really fun to spam.
Who's that?
It's Thomas the Train.
Okay, the face. Okay.
Or Thomas the Tank Engine, I guess it is. Yeah. But that's been a fun one to spam in chat for sure. Usually when a song has ooh.
Nice. How about you, Tim?
It's almost always hearts for me. So like Bex has her pizza heart, and Space Taco has her, she calls it the fart heart. There's the green heart. Those tend to be a fun go-to. But it is always kind of fun, like putting together where there's full-on conversation, or like she said, we treat it like dancing. It's one of those things where, like, the more you kind of get to know, the lore behind where an emote came from, it kind of adds to the experience a little bit. Kind of a fun way of saying something without having to say something a little bit.
Nice. How about you, Alice?
Mine's Black Heart, dude. That's been my favorite ever since.
Black Heart.
I do enjoy the bouncing peach. And there I mean, yeah, there are tons of streamers that have got just some amazing anything that Chair Bear makes. Where the hell's Chair Bear tonight? Is she in here? Anything that girl comes up with is just so gorgeous. Nice. She's got some of the, you look in Case Spowboys and in Space Tacos and Techno Cat. She's got Sahars. She's got emotes all over the place, and they are just beautiful. She is such an amazing artist. They're awesome. They're
Shout
awesome.
out, Chair Bear.
Right. But yeah, no, the heart's it.
All right, next question. Best stream snack while modding. Lanzi.
Oh God, stream snack while modding. I've been eating giant goldfish. The jalapeno cheddar. They're so good.
Giant goldfish.
They're like,
how big is the giant
goldfish crackers? They're like this big. They're huge.
They're like cookies, like size of a cookie, like that.
They're like a little cookie. They're good.
Oh shoot! I'm really learning a lot on this.
My
show.
roommate turned me on to them. They're so fucking good.
All right, nice one, Timpa.
I tend to eat a lot of different stuff, and I mod pretty much exclusively from my phone, so it's not uncommon for me to be like actively cooking while I'm modding. but I don't know that I
That's
have
good.
a go-to necessarily.
Okay. Oz.
Tequila.
Snack, dude.
What?
they
Well, in
have
that
their
case,
own drinks. They're probably to do it. Tequila. Okay. Tequila and probably good pairing with the giant goldfish.
Goldfish.
You might do it.
You say goldfish? Did I say goldfish?
You
He
did say
did.
goldfish.
Yeah, no, not giant goldfish. Oh my god! All right. Well, next question. Automod, friend or enemy?
Wait, can you
Oh,
restate the
Automod.
questions?
Automod.
Automod. Automod is amazing.
So friend. Yeah.
Best friend. Yes.
Best friend.
Really, really happy for Automod a lot of times where people just want to say something. They want to get it out of their system. I don't know what it is. But Automod also blocks a lot of stuff that maybe shouldn't be modded, and like Twitch just takes it the wrong way and makes it
It's
weird.
weird. Yeah.
So
I do like
Okay.
that they made it a lot easier for us to just like swipe one way or the other if it's something that actually isn't a big deal, or if it is,
Sure.
no, it's good that we got that.
you can swipe on it now.
How did
On mobile,
I'm
I don't
thinking
know
of
about.
That's
On the phone.
amazing. That's
They
really
did.
cool.
They did add the reply on the mobile. You guys noticed that?
They did,
I haven't
yeah.
tried it yet, but they have. Yeah.
I didn't know that you could approve or deny Automod on mobile too, though. That's really, really, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Oz.
No, it's friend. Definitely useful. 95% of the time, it's useful, and the other 5%, that's what we're here for.
I was gonna say half the time that it gets it wrong, it's funny in a way. So like it's its
But there you
own
go.
perk to the stream.
Exactly.
Okay.
I will say, Automod built into Twitch is the friend. Automod built into like Stream Elements or Streamlabs can be
Streamlabs.
really annoying. Like if you're
Right.
spamming emotes, if you have more than 5 emotes, you just get timed out, completely timed out from the channel. I don't like that.
All right. Next one. Most annoying phrase you see in chat. Oh, Lancy is thinking she has one. She just don't want to say it.
No one will be using it now.
No, nobody's. Guys, listen to this one. If Lancy's
note,
there,
Gus,
don't
make a
use
note.
it. Or people will use it because they know Lancy's there.
Most annoying phrase to use in chat. Oh man. It's really hard because most of the annoying phrases are on the Automod list. So I would say
Like what? Just
oh man, this is like the one time I don't want to go first.
I feel like at least for
don't
like the
know.
DJ channels, it's probably requests.
Requests are really
people are,
annoying.
like,
Yeah,
asking for
requests
it.
are really
everybody doesn't
annoying.
like it.
Will you play this
Which it's one
song?
thing
Can
if
you
people
get
like
the...
genuinely don't
Play
know, but I think
D&D
most
right
people
now,
know
or I'm
that
leaving.
DJs aren't taking requests.
Yeah.
Is there a phrase though that you always see like? Oh, fuck that.
No, ID is excellent. I really like ID. Sharing music is really important. Play
Yeah.
Bad Bunny. Freebird is actually on the Automod list in Pat's. Now you know.
Freebird. Why is it on a mod?
Because when somebody says it, they'll start saying it.
It's a Blux term.
Gee, am I too?
Freebird is a song by Leonard Skinner. For those who don't know,
Yeah, but why is it automated though? Oh, interesting.
because when it starts, it makes the whole chat say it. That's why.
Oh my god! Wow, I should.
There was one person that I don't know if she's in chat, but she said it 200 times one night in a row. She knew it was automated, which is why she said it 200 times. But
I'm gonna start doing that. Just on your channel,
please.
Tim, how about you?
I don't know. You can't really think of any.
Damn, I made the rapid fire hard today.
Yeah, I can't really think of any.
Did you run these by Grace before you made this
Yeah.
list?
That's just on my head. How about you?
I really don't have. I'm with Tempa, man. I really don't. You know, the occasional request, but no.
All right, well, just gonna move to the next one. I have two left, but this
All right.
one's gonna be a bit spicy. Do you secretly judge your streamer's overlay design?
So the overlay design. Okay.
No, I openly judge it.
What the fuck is that? That you? Take that off.
We give constructive feedback on. No, I mean, I think maybe this is a little bit of us like having a good relationship with the streamers we do
Yeah.
work with. But like, if there's ever any feedback that we actually have, they're open to and often actively ask for it. So it's pretty rare that we have to secretly do too much judging there.
I think you just to make fun of it. You can actually poke the message to do it. 'Cause you have that good relationship, right? Because you have that open relationship, right?
Right.
How you have you ever told Naya that I
No,
don't like that?
No, I'm with Tempa and Lanzi on this. Yeah, if you don't have the relationship where you can either openly go, what the fuck, then that's you're in the wrong channel, man. No, you build a relationship with your streamer so that you can have those discussions, and they're either openly in jest or in a Discord channel and go, okay, we were looking at this and I don't think this is going to work. This really doesn't look good. What do you think? You have that interaction. There's no secretly judging.
We should do
Okay.
a critique episode of overlays.
Oh,
Mm.
Oh,
And
that
there
would
we
be
go. We just
that would be fun.
we just go get screenshots of like Lavandas,
Yep.
and
We just
Pat's,
go
and
through
just
tons of streamers,
rank them.
including
just
our
watch
own.
it.
Including our
I
own.
mean,
overlay to your
Yeah,
list.
There you go.
exactly. And just that overlay, just that particular stream. You guys watch what was that show when they watched they let you watch a movie or a show and
Oh,
then
the
just let
Mystery Science Theater
you know
2000 or
what
whatever the hell
was
it was.
it?
Yeah.
That was funny as hell. People are
Yeah.
criticizing it just to what people thinks about it. It's just you should do that. All right. So that's rapid fire. Well, guys, I'm gonna switch into the other segment of the show. This has been fun, but I do want to get this discussion, and I tell you guys one that we have a fun topic in Beyond the Neighborhood. So Beyond the Neighborhood is we're gonna talk about things that it's not really outside of Twitch, but it's outside of what we talk about modding. But this is, I think, is a good topic that I want to get your perspective. So this is the next segment called Beyond the Neighborhood. If you got it on loudspeaker, that fucking scares you, right? So every time. So we have this, right? So I'm gonna put an overlay here.
I was going to say, is that our
Right.
overlays that we get to judge before that? Or?
No. So this. So let's talk about Discord, right? So is it really that we're all farts here that we don't understand? Or I'll be honest, like I don't get it. I'm more of a Teams Slack guy. Is Discord that really helpful to the community or to your thing? What's up with Discord? Do you like it? What's up with it? Lanzi, I know you're a big fan. You're even in a lot of Discords. What do you think about Discord?
Discord is amazing. I will say though, I'll preface it, when you first start using it, it's really hard to get used to where things are, the settings, all of that is very confusing. But once you get the hang of it, Discord is amazing. When you set up your own channel, you can kind of put whatever you want in the channel along with what people might want to share in your channel. But you also have voice channels, you have video channels. Well, they're one and the same, but you can have voice and video chats, which is really cool, especially like during Pat's stream. Everybody gets on video and is vibing with Pat at the same time, and everybody's vibing with each other in Discord. It's really cool to be able to see the other people that you always see in chat and put a face with the name. It's really pretty awesome. But as far as like, if you want to have some sort of like place where your community can talk to each other and share things with each other, if they have photos they want to share, whether it's of like nature or food or whatever, they have a place to share it with people that they care about.
Nice. Timpa, do you think it's a generational thing? Because I know I'm not a boomer. I'm so we're Gen X. But do you think that's why? And it's not that we don't get it. I mean, no, guys, maybe you do, but I'm struggling with it. I mean, we use it for NBHT, but basically we actually use it to just do announcement. Share files, share the lineup, but not entirely to what Lancy had said. Like they do everything there, right? So, what do you guys? Is it a generational thing, or it's just?
I think probably not generational, but I think it's a matter of like who's using it, like as like a default. A lot of people are on other social media, whether it's Instagram or something like that. Not everyone, but sometimes it's just a matter of what you're used to. And so I personally didn't use Discord very much before I jumped on Twitch because
Yep.
that I know of, a lot of the people who were using it were the same people using Twitch, which was for more like the gaming side or for um, just having a community that you can kind of host that way. And so
Sure.
once you do kind of get used to at least like the basics of it, it definitely is really handy as far as just having the barrier of entry of creating one in the first place is pretty easy. And just having a place where it's like, okay, well, if you want to see the schedule, if you want to see anything that the streamer is
Culture,
referring
yeah.
to, instead of it being this separate website or anything, I think for the most part, it can be really helpful, at least just for basic messaging. And then if you can build on it, whether it's having a call simultaneously to the stream to have an extra place for community members to hang out live together, it can really be helpful. So I can definitely see it being like overwhelming if it's something that you're not used to, but
Yep.
especially because so many people in the community do use it, it does make it a little bit easier as you're learning it, that you're not having to learn a completely different interface just for a different streamer. At least there's some commonality, even if it's customized to their needs. I will say to people who are trying to create a Discord, don't feel like you've got to like create the same 20 channels that the other person
Right.
did to kind of make it your own, to make it unique to you.
Do you guys think that streamers undervalue it? Like a lot of streamers, don't use it to its full potential to help them on their channel.
That I've seen, I've seen a lot of them actually take advantage of it quite a bit.
Okay, but do you think that people that doesn't have a Discord channel is missing out? Just to grow their their sets, their channels.
I wouldn't say it helps with growth. But it does help your community connect with each other.
It's definitely a missed opportunity to interact with the community if
Yes.
you're not using it. Absolutely.
Yeah, like it's a place to promote your stream. It's a place to let other people in the community promote their stream. It's a place to tell people about what you do with your life, like you just connect with other people.
So
It's
really
like a different kind of social media. DZ
Got it.
said that.
Oh, okay. And it's really real-time connection, to your point,
Yeah.
right? Whether it's
Right.
it's chaos or just fun, right? So that's what we're looking for. I
Super
think
multifaceted. Actually, it's hard to describe it. Community is one word, obviously, but I belong to another group, a supporters group for our local football club. So there's a call for, okay, let's do tifo painting on Sunday at this warehouse, and that's how they announce, and people show up. Or if we need to exchange tickets, like, okay, I have free tickets, anyone up, it's up for grabs. So very useful and contained within your community. So I think I guess it's on us to learn how to use it to be better.
yeah,
Yeah.
I agree, because I think we're missing out, and that's why I want to
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
this conversation out, right? And do you guys feel that Discord is an extension of Twitch then, to communities? we talk about safe chats, right? You're opening up, behind the scene bonding to what Lancy's saying, or probably mod training that I need. Is that an extension of Twitch? Is
There
that
are
where-
channels that are specifically for modding. There's one called Agency. I think you have to be invited. But yeah, I mean, I think it is an extension of Twitch channels, but I'm also a part of Discord channels that have nothing to do with Twitch. So it just depends. It definitely is for any kind of community. Doesn't have to be Twitch. But yeah, I think an important thing is if you want people to be active in your Discord, you
Yeah.
have to be active in your Discord. If you want people to engage with you, you have to engage with them. That's one thing I've noticed that some people just don't do, and then once they start doing it, they start getting interaction in their Discord.
Okay, yeah. So you're saying, 'cause a lot of people I think are afraid because it's just too much for them. I heard it from other, right? Again,
It is a lot.
same age,
Yeah.
same age as me. Like, oh, I'm just gonna hit you on Facebook. Yeah, like my mom, or my dad, right? But there are communities that still use other venue. But I guess this one is just different. That's why I'm asking. It's more of comfortability, just because the Gen Zs and millennials are using it, and us, the Gen X, and some boomers were actually still sticking to the first generation of social media, or stuff like that.
Friendster, you mean?
Friendster. I don't know if they even know Friendster. MIRC. I don't know if you guys know MIRC. You guys heard about
Yeah,
it?
I know IRC.
Yeah.
Bring back MySpace.
Did your grandpa tell you about it? He was using it.
No, I used it.
You use it? Oh,
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah.
I think with Discord, it's important to have somebody who knows and understands how Discord works, to set
Mhm.
up your Discord, even if that's a YouTube video or multiple YouTube videos that walk you through certain things like settings or what you might want in your channel or what have you.
I was going to say notification settings are like one of the first things I would recommend messing around with, because
Oh,
it can
God,
definitely
yeah.
get overwhelming,
It can get
especially if you are
annoying, though,
joining a
dude.
community and you're like following
I used
12
to have
different
that
people
on.
and notifications from all of them. It's like, no, like pick and choose
Yeah.
the stuff you actually want.
can
Otherwise,
It can get
like it can
annoying.
get overwhelming.
Take it out like boop boop boop, like nonstop. Especially if you're on multiple servers, right? It's like,
Yeah.
oh my god,
Who in here is not on multiple servers? Who in here has just one Discord server they're in? Please raise your
no,
Mr.
hand.
Coops.
No,
Couple
I
dozen.
have. I'm on a lot. I know. Look, it's not that I don't hate it. It's just that I think it's, for me. I have not. I'm a technology guy, so I love technology. I did, to Lancy's point. I have not used. I'm afraid to use. If I'm in it, I'm in it. You might, if you invite me to a server and I'm gonna a voice chat with you, you might just stay away from me, because I cannot stop talking. Especially if the topic is the one I like. So be careful if you invite me to a server. That's why personally I'm not gonna go there, because I know myself.
I definitely agree with Timpa. Basically, if you are part of a lot of Discords, you want to right click that little icon for that channel. There's a little notifications menu, and you can adjust it as needed. You can mute when everyone is tagged. You can mute when you are tagged, or if you're like a part of some kind of like role, you can mute any of that. And you can just mute the whole server if you want to. So it just depends on what you want, and you can set it to whatever you need.
Yeah. I'm bad in replying messages to not just Discord or even text messages, because if when I get into
Come back.
something, I forget. I forget about replying, so I have to really. For me, notification helps, but not that a lot of notification, because I need to go and check my messages, just because when work comes in, you just tend to forget, then you need to reply to this, and then sometimes it's hard, especially Lancy, you were part of the high vibe trade train from before. It's just hard, like weekly, the message that, oh, somebody asked me to put him on the slot and I forget, so it's hard to keep up with those, because I
Mhm.
need notification to tell me get back at it.
Well, right. And that's something that you can do, is you can just keep the notifications on for certain Discord channels completely on, and you can just mute any of the other channels however you want. Obviously,
Nice.
communication is really important if you're modding or if you're running something or coordinating anything. It's
Yep.
really important to get those notifications so you don't miss anything.
Right. So that I think right now with NBH, because we did a lot of community, it's either Discord, Instagram, and believe me, people are still doing it on Facebook and text message for some. that's all my mode of communication right now. All right, so that's where we got confused. That's the three of us confused on Discord, but we're gonna get there, right? So do it. All right, so thank you. That's the Beyond Neighbor. But now I think people are waiting for this. It's their chance. It's the next segment called No Dumb Questions. Everybody in the chat, this is your chance to ask any questions that you prepared. If you have one to Lanzi and Timpa and even Oz, and they need to answer it no matter how spicy it is, no matter how controversial it is. They're gonna answer it on this show. So fire away. Let me see the first no dumb question. But before that, let me run the no dumb questions reel. All right, no dumb questions. The only dumb questions are the questions that are not asked. Fire away, people.
Well, I've got a question. I don't see any dumb questions in chat yet, so I've got a question.
Sure.
Most of my streamers know that I'm horrendously verbose. I make commands and will make them a paragraph long. So what is your favorite command, and what command do you wish your streamer had not deleted? Lanzi, you go first. What's your favorite command?
My favorite command is !beep. And
Nice.
he hasn't deleted any commands. I've deleted a bunch of commands. So, per request, because there were hundreds, and it was really hard to remember them, or they weren't used at all, or whatever. But I don't think he's ever deleted any commands.
Okay. Well, I know Naya did the latest house cleaning that we've had to deal with, and she cleared out like 300 commands. And yeah, no, we should have. We had over 800. So
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and Water will tell you I'm probably responsible for half of those. What about you, Timpa?
Early on, I never really wrote a lot of commands because I could never remember like the right format for doing it. I was like, oh, I'm gonna mess it up. But finally, I got it locked in, and now I can't stop. I do like kind of making like the on the fly like.
I like that.
You want that just kind of pop up,
depending what it
a random nickname or a reference, and it almost kind of becomes a part of the lore a little bit. Trying to think of any. Same thing. I don't think she's really deleted a whole lot. I don't think Bex has really deleted a whole lot of commands, but what would be like a recent one? I would have to pull up to a list of it. I'm bad at remembering them on the spot, but I mean, I think a popular one in most of the channels that we're in would be the social command of just having this like thing that no matter what it is, even if we're all being silly or partying or what have you, just kind of like having this idea that like, oh, just a reminder, like we're all kind of like coming together and seeing each other as a community. We throw around that community or that word a lot, but I think people really feel it, and that's kind of just like one thing that kind of helps remind us and kind of centers us back around one single thing, even if it's just everyone's taking a shot. Just having that reminder that we're all just hanging out
social
together,
aspect
enjoying
to
the
it.
music.
Like it.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. I have one. It's called it's Gus's Ibaba. It means this is it's the one that activates the butt cam. So Gus has a cam underneath. So he always wears a tutu on his costumes, right? So you actually see like he's wearing Spanx. So that for me, I can and there's no cooldown too. So he hasn't changed it. So I've been doing that all the time.
That's wrong.
Yeah. All right. That's
a
it.
couple of
I saw
questions up
one.
through there.
Yeah, I saw one from Bone Daddy.
Yeah, Bone.
Is it true that mods actually subsist entirely on bits that fall out of the streamer's bit cups. All right, Lancy.
I'll just keep my answer simple. No.
There's no why, so you know.
Yeah, there's
you have to-
there's no
there's
extra
why.
question
there
on
you go.
that.
Explain, yeah.
Exactly.
I think we
Yeah.
actually survive off of when a streamer doesn't know what to do on the spot when they get flustered. That's what we live for.
Sure. There you go. Streamer's looking like, yeah. No, I got that.
My chat is talking about what?
Fair enough.
All right.
Ooh,
Hold
Pickle's
on.
got a
It's-
I
serious
like
one there at
Survey's
the end.
question.
Yeah, I actually have this one on the rapid question. The answer: have you ever been banned before?
I've been banned by Pat.
Oh.
But that's like a friendly ban, you know.
No.
You know?
Before I
Really?
was a
No?
mod, I was real annoying. I was real fucking annoying, and he
Yeah.
banned me.
I saw some people like do the bans just because you know they're trying to be playful with people, but but when you ban it though, do you ban on a certain like? Well,
It was
you have to
playful. He
unban
unbanned me, but
you have to unban them, right? Yeah.
of course.
How about you, Tim?
I don't think I have been. I've been timed out before, and it's usually also in a joking situation. But I think there's probably been a couple times where I don't even remember the exact situation at this point. But no, it's usually just like a one-off comment or something, but nothing serious.
Okay, Oz.
Oh yeah, I've been banned from pretty much all the channels on Twitch. They don't let me back anywhere. I don't know how you guys managed to get me in here. I'm pretty sure that
Dude, you
I
know me.
wasn't
I don't
supposed to
ban
work.
people.
That's a good
Gus do
point.
time
Yay.
out people. Gus time out people, and people are telling me why did I got the time out? Oh, it's fat fingers because we don't know what the hell we're doing. That's the reason why.
Jules got a good question up there. Jules got a
Yeah.
question.
Do any of the
There we go.
mods have any streamers that they mod for that don't take constructive criticism well? Interesting. I'll start with you, Tim. I'm not gonna start with Lancy for now.
I mean,
do a zone.
yeah, I've only had the couple, and they're both really good at not only taking constructive criticism, but also asking for feedback or things like that. So personally, I haven't had that issue at all.
All right, Oz.
Not myself. I know that one of my fellow mods on a few other channels, he went to mod for one of his first modding gigs was for a streamer in Europe, and their style of interaction in the community did not line up well at all with anything that I had ever dealt with, much less him. And he ended up leaving the job after I think the third week, and just told the streamer, said, I'm sorry, our the way we deal with things is just not meshing. And the streamer was like, no, we can work with this. We can work with this. And he's like, I
Interesting.
asked you if you could do this, and I made a command to do that, and you deleted it, and you told me I shouldn't do this anymore. It's not working, But no, all the streamers that I deal with, they're more than willing to listen to stuff. So
Lancy, you've been.
Yeah, I've definitely dealt with a couple streamers that didn't really take constructive criticism very well, but it is what it is. It's usually I'm pretty good friends with anybody that I mod for, so it's not a
big deal. You get
not a big deal.
modded, but
Yeah.
Mhm.
Jill, I wonder, that question is coming from. Did we? I'll chat with you later.
Mr. Coops, you have to answer the question.
Oh shoot! I am a mod.
Yeah.
there you go.
Be careful.
No. No, they know me. I if you give me the sword, I'm gonna speak my mind. If they can't take it, same with Lancy, not a problem.
You'll speak
Yeah.
your mind as long as Grace lets you.
Well,
Absolutely.
that's different. That doesn't count. That one,
That was
that one
what
is
Jewel was
different.
actually asking
That's not
about.
part of it. That's not mon. That's called marriage.
True.
Yeah. All right. Another one from, wow, there's a lot of questions today. I love it. You know, people
are.
usually are not asking. Are there any Twitch users that you want to ban, but the streamer refuses to let you? Good one. What's that? For me, no, because I don't ban, right? You know, really, I have not banned anybody yet. Elias, I'm gonna start with you there.
No, I don't think so. I don't think there's anybody that we deal with in the channels that the streamer has not been, 100% behind however we want to deal with things. We look to her for, this person is really looking for, they're really pushing the boundaries. How do you want to go? And I'll go, no, let it go a little bit longer, give them enough rope, or yep, no, they're out of here. I've had it. No, she's all the other streamers I deal with, just like that. No problems.
Lancy? Is it
Um,
Mr. Coops,
I,
the person? No, I'm kidding.
I would say no. That the streamers I mod for pretty much trust me to ban anybody I believe that is going to not mesh with the vibe, or maybe they've said something in another channel, or just depends. But yeah, I don't think there's anybody that there's been a refusal about. No.
That's why the mods are the unsung here. That's a tough job, right? Because you're also trying to control a lot, right? So that's good. Tim?
Yeah, I think most of the time we're more likely to be trying to figure out like how to like understanding someone's situation to not have to ban someone as opposed to the other way around. But yeah, typically if there's any real chance that there might be a situation where a ban is required, I haven't had any situation where the streamer and I aren't on the same page about it.
Okay.
I mean, at that point, it's almost like something where like the chat couldn't even see like, oh, maybe it's time for this person to move on,
To
as
move on.
opposed to
Yeah,
the
it's
other
time
way
to
around.
go. You have enough.
Yeah, when you get
Exactly.
2 or 3 people messaging you, you're like, is this person okay? Did they really do that? You're like, this is not working. He's out of here.
Yeah, and that's the nice thing about a lot of the communities that we're in, or at least the channels that I specifically do mod, is that most of the time, by the time I'm watching something, it's pretty clear that someone else, whether they are literally calling out a comment or just asking like, hey, are you okay? Or that there's enough of the community on board with kind of keeping the
Right.
vibe in a channel at a
Yep.
certain level,
Yep.
even if it's not whole enforcement, that I'm not feeling like I'm the only person out there that's trying to maintain sanity. It's a kind of a group effort, even if it's not official.
Right. All right, we got another question from Fathom. I'm gonna start with Lance in this one regarding shared monitoring of streamer that's been banned again, banning in related channel. How do you all proceed with them regarding shared? Oh, so meaning they're banned on your channel, but they are in the shared chat. Is that the question?
No, so there's a feature
Oh.
where you can have shared bans or shared moderation. And it basically tells the other
Oh.
streamer if you've banned someone in your channel. And it'll just mark
Okay.
them as suspicious. It won't ban them automatically. But for me, if I see somebody that's been banned in a shared channel, first of all, if I'm sharing a channel, sharing bans with somebody else as a streamer, I can communicate openly with that person and tell them what's going on. So if I see somebody as a mod in somebody else's stream that has a shared ban list, I'll probably already know why they're banned because I probably banned them. But otherwise, it's probably best to just ask the other streamer why they were banned. You can also put mod notes in the user list. So you can say, this person was banned because of XYZ. And then they'll actually see that in the mod card.
So do you need to share that with somebody? Your list to somebody, another channel?
Some people like to do it. It just depends on your
Huh.
preference. But yeah, you can definitely share a ban list with other people for sure.
I really want to see that. Just curious, what are those names? I have one that probably on a lot of band lists that I know of, but I just curious what it is. And say, how about you, Tim?
Yeah, I think there's probably not a lot of situations where someone would be banned on one channel but not on another. It does happen, but it's usually a lot more black and white as opposed to the gray areas that we've kind of talked about. Um, if it is something where I'm aware of someone not being, allowed in one channel, but is in another, I might kind of keep an eye on it to see if there's like a repeated behavior or anything. But yeah, honestly, it's pretty few and far between with any of that. And sometimes it's just, well, maybe they just didn't have the right vibe or energy with another channel, but I know they'll fit in here, and that's fine too. So it's very much a play it by ear.
Okay. Well, we got one last one. I'm gonna pick one that's gonna be maybe two. Like I'm gonna get Bone Daddy again. Are there any behaviors you see mods do that annoy you?
Um,
Like not your own style, I guess. Just but still annoying.
I guess maybe not like paying very close attention. Not that you have to like micro inspect everything that comes through there, but at least kind of being aware of what's happening, whether it's there are people that are starting something or missing when new people are coming in. I think, but I mean, even that's like nitpicking. That's not even like that common a thing that I see.
How about you, Lancy?
I don't know. I don't think I have anything that other mods do that annoy me. Not really.
Oz, anything?
I don't think so. I really couldn't come up with anything that a mod does specifically. I mean, maybe I've seen a mod or two where they've pushed things in a streamer's chat a little farther than I would expect. Kind of not necessarily throwing their weight around, but accepting that they're probably not as likely to get in trouble as a regular viewer if they push the boundaries a little bit. But other than that, no, not really.
That's why I'm not gonna get Jade Nilla a sword ever, because he likes to push boundaries, man. Jay, you're listening right now. I know you're using. I love you, dude, but sometimes you push it. I'm gonna say. All right. Well, I do have a question. Shared chat. What do you guys think, as mods? Is it hard? I mean, I know it shares, but for me, it's confusing because especially when the streamer saying something, but somebody's answering it because the other channel is saying it. You know what I'm saying? So do you guys think it's confusing? I know it helps, but it's not that I don't like it. Do you guys feel like it's it's good for modding?
So I've seen some streamers that just do it without like actually streaming together. And
What do
I
you
think
mean?
that would be confusing. Like people will share their chats without actually being on the same stream. They're just doing their separate things. And that is confusing to
Oh,
me. But as far as being a mod over a shared chat with somebody else, when they are streaming together, as a mod, you can see who's speaking in which channel. You can see their little picture next to everybody's name, so you can actually see who. But it's very confusing as just like a
From a
regular
viewer,
chatter.
God, yeah,
regular
You
chat.
can't
exactly.
see. You can't see who's where. It's very confusing, and I think that Twitch should probably change that so they can figure out.
That's where I'm coming from. Because I have not done a mod on a shared channel. Just being on that channel confuses me. Like, I don't know. I mean, especially if there's a question that the actual streamer did, and somebody's replying, and then they're saying something, and that could be misconstrued, right? You might think of something because you're not in
Misunderstood.
that context, right?
Yes, exactly, and I've
No,
seen that happen.
from the mod point of view, though, when you're looking at the channel, you can even see so and so rated into this person's channel. They're a raider from this channel into either of the shared chats. So there's tons more information available from the mod's point of view. So for us, yeah, it's not that bad to manage. It can be chaotic, but at least you can see, because I'm tight, at least you can see where stuff is coming from and who's in what channel. From a straight viewer's point of view, it drove me nuts. I hated it.
Okay.
Yeah, when they first introduced the feature, it was a little bit confusing. And to Lanzy's point, yeah, if they're actually in the same room and just like on two different streams, that's actually kind of a handy thing. It's actually kind of fun.
Case and Val.
You can get used to it if you're sharing streams, but they're not streaming together. It definitely depends on how much there is direct conversation and interaction with the streamer versus just everyone's still on emotes or everyone's kind of like vibing together a little bit. So it does depend on what the stream is and what the actual intention is. If there's a lot of communicating directly with and the chat's actively talking to someone who's on camera, that's a lot different than if it's just everyone kind of vibing out to a slightly different set of music or something.
All right. Okay. Man, I hate to wrap it up. This has been fun. This is all the time we have today, but I learned a lot. All the mods that are listening, I don't know about you guys. I got like a quick tutorial for a lot of these great mods, that tells me a lot of tips, and I have to step it up next time. But thank you to our amazing guests, Tim and Lanzy, for stepping up from behind the mod screen and sharing the real, the raw, the fun side of to keep of what you're doing and to keep this community running really smooth. You're not just mods, you're, I would say, an architect, bouncers, right? You said that, digital therapist sometimes, and you keep the pulse on every stream you guys are modding. To everyone watching, right, the next time you see them, especially the streamer, send them flowers, not just send them commands, Chipotle gift cards or whatever, thank them. They are the pillar of every stream, and we appreciate you, and we're glad you are part of this neighborhood and this show. If you have something to promote, or promote the channels, that you're doing, I'll give you the stage, Lancy. Anything I know you're streaming also. If you have a schedule to your streams or whatnot, promote it on this show.
I want to say thank you to Pat for rating the channel. That
Yes,
was
thank you,
really,
Pat.
really nice. Thank you so much.
Appreciate
I really
Philly.
appreciate your support, and I know these guys do too. I stream on Tuesday nights. I'm thinking about adding another day. Yeah, I stream video games, usually really weird ones. Sometimes just Fortnite. So it just depends on the day. Sometimes both. I also really like GeoGuessr. But really, I cannot tell you guys how much this community means to me. It is so hard to explain for me because it has. I've been. I've changed a lot as far as how just I live my life, even because of the
Nice.
community, because of being a part of this. So I really, really appreciate every single one of you. I really think that the friends I've made here are incredible. And thank you so much for letting me be a part of this. This was pretty awesome. A lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you. And I think you shared a lot of those stories that people will remember, right? And it's just not you streaming; it's just telling that the authentic, the raw emotions here. Thank you so much, Tim. You have anything to promote?
Pretty much just see y'all out there in different channels. The ones I mod for are with Bex from Chicago and Space Taco Vibes, and any of the other ones that we tend to see y'all in. I definitely appreciate y'all having us on and kind of talking about this side of Twitch that not everyone sees, but being able to contribute to the conversation. So I definitely appreciate that.
Yep, and thank you for joining us. And I know it was just a few weeks ago, but this is great. Thanks, Lancy, for getting Tim on the show, and appreciate you, man. Really. Oz, my buddy. So again, thanks for coming back. Thank you for co-hosting this episode. Appreciate you, and the guys. Gus,
Thanks,
Pat,
Oz.
me. Appreciate
Pat,
you being
Gus,
here.
appreciate you guys so much. Coops, thanks for having me back. I really appreciate it. I not been able to watch as many of these as I've wanted to, but I've tried to keep up with them when I can, and it's always awesome seeing you guys interact and the guests that you have in. Just I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly still what drove you to this. It's still just not sure why, but I'm absolutely completely grateful that I'm get to be a part of it from wherever I happen to be, whether I'm just sitting in the background or sitting up here with you guys. Thank you very much. This is really awesome. It really is.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Kind words.
Yeah,
We
appreciate.
appreciate.
Yeah. And for us, I can say this. We will keep doing this as long as there's story to tell for everybody. And I think we still have a lot more, right? We're ending season 2. I want to get the perspective, not just the streamers and not just the mods, but even people supporting, right? You see a lot of these people on the channel, on the community. I want to get a perspective of what it is, right? And get them from the camera, right? Dr. R&B, I've been asking Doc, I'll get you on the show and pair with somebody. Like, I want that because that's the whole purpose of the show, is to tell a story for everyone, and we're having fun doing it. So what drove us to do this? Honestly, we did not expect this. We didn't even
Mentally
expect.
unstable,
Yeah,
or
we didn't expect us to land
Kinda.
in 3 episodes, right? So now we're at what, 43 or something, and we're gonna keep doing it. Until nobody said, but somebody said stop it, or we don't have any stories to tell. So keep them coming. So this is the second to the last episode. We're ending next season. We're gonna try to see if we can get a lot of people from the past episode in to chime in to just close the season. Thank you guys from the bottom of our hearts. Gus, you want to say something? Pat, take our guest.
Thank you. Thank you again.
Thank you,
Very
guys.
kind.
you've got to be the
would love to
best
have
color
you
man in the game, man.
Oh, by the way, thanks to all the streamers over the weekend for the Kalayaan raid. That was fantastic.
Oh,
Yeah.
I do miss streaming, so it was good to be back.
Let's get that. And thank you, Patrick Richards. Go Birds, for rating in on this. And thank you guys. Lanzi and
Real
TimPadilla.
quick.
Yep.
Sorry. I do want to appreciate everybody who came in here. I see all sorts of names in the chat. Thank you, guys. I did want to push. DJ Hallowed is doing his partner push. So if you guys find some time and catch him on, his chats or his streams are always a lot of fun. So I know
Right.
he wandered him through here earlier. So
Yep.
every little bit helps.
Everybody. Is he streaming right now? We can raid in.
No, he's not. I don't think he's streaming right now. He'll probably be streaming about 2 hours from now.
Yeah, well, why do we always do it at 1:00? Hey, why don't you and NBHT? Hey, I stream at 1 a.m. I have to find like 3 more before we can raid
To connect to 1 a.m.
to connect to 1 a.m.
Mhm.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Do you have anybody that you just want to raid in that you could, we can support? I saw.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, I saw Supa is on,
here.
right? Yeah. So we can raid into Supa, and then I know he's still on that push, right?
Look at
So
that,
we can.
77 people in here right now. I love it. Thank you guys,
Yeah. So,
everybody.
yeah.
I will
So
say
any
thank you
other?
to all the chatters who we don't have to mod on a regular basis, who actually are just fun to hang out.
There you
Yes,
go. No
yeah.
doubt.
Thank
Tampa.
you, everybody. I
Yeah.
appreciate you guys. Oh, Nick is actually on too. So
I see Nick in there. Yeah.
we can get Nick to get him boosted up. So thank you, appreciate Tim, Lanzi. In behalf of the guys next door, thanks so
Thank you,
much. I
guys.
appreciate you. While you guys hang out a little bit on the backstage, I just want to say thank you, but I'm gonna close in and then raid out. Thank you, everybody. And play.
I've tried 1,000 tries, and there may be other guys. I'll never compromise, and now I realize there may be other guys. I'll